It's Monday, the 8th of April, 2024. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories, 5 minutes. Let's get cracking. Story number 1, the AUKUS Military Technology Sharing Pact between Australia, the UK and the USA is likely to invite Japan to join in the face of growing Chinese assertiveness in the region.
The 3 current members are expected to open talks today about expanding the grouping. The so-called Pillar 2 of the alliance will involve collaboration in technologies such as undersea capabilities and hypersonic weapons, according to the Financial Times. It will not involve discussions around nuclear-powered submarines. Now, AUKUS is an outcome of the deal for Australia to buy US subs using UK technology at a cost of $368 billion over the next 30 years. Expanding the group is probably not a surprise. Japan was always the most likely next member. Its Prime Minister Fumio Kishida is meeting US President Joe Biden in Washington later this week. Australia is supportive of Japan joining AUKUS, though earlier in the year, Defence Minister Richard Marles said it could be some time to bed an agreement. I said they are supportive, more like lukewarm support.
The thing I find fascinating about this, Sean, is that Australia seems to be punching above its weight in AUKUS, given the strength of the other nations.
Yeah, it is. The US, UK and Japan are all major powers. Let's remember, though, we are paying a lot of money for subs to be part of this. In fact, Australia is keen to focus on the submarine part of the deal and bed the details down before going and expanding the group. Canberra and the UK are also concerned, as are some in Washington, that Japan still lacks the security systems required to protect highly sensitive data. In any case, it does demonstrate Australia's very strategic role in the region and also the very fine line the government needs to tread with our largest trading partner, China.
Indeed. All right, moving on to story number 2 now. The housing market is maintaining its strength. The preliminary auction clearance rate over the weekend came in at more than 75%, with Sydney leading the way.
Yes, the combined capitals rate recorded a solid bounce this week, rising to 75.9% from 71.1% last week. Now, this week's preliminary clearance rate was the highest since early February. It complicates things for the Reserve Bank when deliberating on interest rates because presumably the central bank doesn't want a surge in house prices. Melbourne recorded the largest week-on-week increase. It was up 7.6 percentage points to 70.6. Sydney came in at 81.6%. Very good. In fact, ACT was the only capital to record a rate below 70%.
Story number 3, bit of good news. The cruise line season, which ends at the end of this month, has been very, very good. 2023-24 looks like being the best ever for an industry that was almost wiped out by COVID.
And younger Australians, not oldies, are driving the rebound as cost of living pressures make cruising look a little more affordable. About 70 cruise ships have operated in local waters in the past 6 months, an increase from 60 in the season preceding the pandemic, according to The Australian. The 3 largest operators in the market all expect a record-breaking season once the final numbers come in. Carnival Australia reckons it's had 715,000 guests across its 9 brands. Cruising's changed. It's now offering products that keep everyone from young children to grandparents entertained. There's also various itinerary options, including weekend trips. The variety this year was boosted by the debut of adults-only Virgin Voyages and the child-friendly Disney Cruise Line.
Story number 4, scientists have hailed an important advance in the decades-old quest for a drug to slow the impact of Parkinson's disease in research that really highlights the potential versatility of new diabetes and weight loss drugs.
Parkinson's patients who took the diabetes drug lixasenatide saw no worsening of their motor symptoms after a 1-year trial, according to a paper published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Parkinson's is a brain disorder that affects an estimated 10 million people worldwide and leads to symptoms including body tremors, slow movement, and in severe cases, dementia. The results will renew attention on the possible effectiveness of the so-called GLP-1 drugs against neurodegenerative conditions. The drugs mimic the GLP-1 gut hormone to trigger the release of insulin. They include popular new diabetes and weight loss drugs. Now, one of the big producers is Novo Nordisk. It's trialling GLP-1 treatments on conditions including cardiovascular diseases and Alzheimer's. But the lixasenatide trial is one of the first longer studies to suggest that a GLP-1 drug may slow progression of Parkinson's symptoms in humans.
Last one, story number 5. This is fascinating. KISS, one of the most flamboyant US rock bands of any era, really, has sold the rights to its music as well as its name, its image and likeness to Pophouse, which is the Swedish entertainment company founded by one of the members of ABBA.
Yeah, so Pophouse plans to use the deal to create a live music show featuring avatars of the members of KISS, according to a story in the Financial Times. The agreement values the artist's share of the music rights and branding at about $300 million. Pophouse hopes to keep the brand in the public eye for many years after the actual members of KISS have stopped touring. The company said the deal would unlock new audiences and revenue streams. Now, music rights have become a popular asset class in the past few years. They yield an income stream based on streaming revenues and record sales, and investors can also push up values through licensing deals for movies, TV shows, etc. KISS has sold more than 100 million records worldwide over a 50-year career. In fact, they played their final gig at Madison Square Garden in New York last December. They're now going to make more money from their music.
All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Monday, the 8th of April, 2024. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. If 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 business news by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.